Tyler Hoover here of Hoovy's Garage and Barrett Jackson's live TV coverage on history and FYI. But also this time, I am a consignor at the Barrett Jackson Las Vegas auction, June 22nd through 24th at the Las Vegas Convention Center, where I'm selling my collection behind me. So today, I'm going to give you a first look of my 4 cars. So let's start with my 1966 Shelby GT 350H. This is the Hertz Rent Racer for $17 a day and 17 cents a mile. You could rent a real full-blown Shelby from Hertz, which this car is. But 2 years later, in 1968, it was sold to someone who used it for hill climb events, other racing events, and, well, it was raced quite a bit in period. More recently, it was bought and restored as a Group B race car. That's why you see the plexiglass throughout, the full roll cage, and it was used in events like the Monterey Historics, the Sonoma Racing. Basically, this is a full-blown Group B vintage race car, which is how I bought it. But I wanted to street it, so I added some things, made all the lights work, gauges, and all that stuff, so I can drive it on the street as well. But this is a really cool opportunity to buy a race car with this pedigree, but also a Hertz car, and you can also drive it on the street. And all the documentation is right here in this book. The original bill of sale from 1968, period photos, and more recent racing, all the receipts and full ownership history. Just a really, really cool piece of Shelby history. Next to it is a 2023 Chevrolet Corvette Z06. In my opinion, this is about the best new car being built today. And I lucked into this. I bought it from the dealership I worked at over 15 years ago, and I really, really enjoyed this car. Put almost 1,000 miles on it. Had to get it past break-in so I could hear the amazing flat plane crank V8 rev to full song, almost 9,000 RPM, 670 horsepower, and this one is a convertible and very well optioned. $8,000 carbon ceramic brakes, interior carbon fiber, and the front axle lift. Chevrolet reportedly reverse engineered a Ferrari 458 to build these things, and it definitely shows, but they beat it in pretty much every way. I absolutely love this car. Hypersonic gray metallic as well, a great color. Continuing on to a muscle car legend right here, a 1968 Dodge Charger RT440. Now, enthusiasm for these spans generations, whether you're original Bullitt Steve McQueen fan with a 68 Charger, or the Dukes of Hazzard with their 70 Charger that jumped everything, or most recently, the Fast and Furious franchise. There's been every iteration of a 70 Dodge Charger in there. Everybody seems to love this body of Charger, including me, which is why I was so happy to find this thing in Miami, even though it had been sitting for a few years, but it's all sorted out now. Of course, the crazy green color is what I loved about it, inside and out. The interior is original inside. It's had a repaint on the outside, and of course that big 440 engine and factory air conditioning. An amazing driving car. And finally, the glove most certainly did fit with me on this 1994 Ford Bronco. And no, this isn't the infamous O.J. Simpson Bronco, the car chase and all that stuff, but it was a lifelong California truck before I bought it. It originally sold in Southern California, and I bought it from somebody who used it to give O.J.-themed tours around Brentwood, Beverly Hills, where all this stuff took place. The pandemic brought the end to that business, so I bought it from him. I did a vacation to Disneyland and then brought it home. You can see it's just a beautiful example of a Bronco 4-wheel drive with the 5-liter V8 automatic transmission and, of course, the removable top. This is a great example of a modern classic that we're seeing more and more appreciation at Barrett Jackson, and this one being a lifelong California truck, mostly original paint, it is a very nice example. So that's my collection, selling no reserve in Las Vegas, June 22nd through 24th. So you don't want to miss it. Either be there in person, see it live on the TV coverage on History or FYI, or you can bid to win any of these cars.